Gold Rush Awesome Moments. Hey guys, welcome back to Film Truth. Today we'll talk about Gold Rush's most awesome moments. Let's head into it. Number 9. No guts, no glory. In the face of an economic meltdown, 6 men will risk everything to strike rich gold in the wilds of Alaska. Todd Hoffman of Sandy, Oregon, along with his father, are leading a group of greenhorn miners in search of the American dream and a new frontier. Gold fever is back and the rush is on. Number 8. Game changer. In Quartz Creek, Todd Hoffman calls the man making his state-of-the-art wash plant and discovers it will arrive in the next 5 days. With a mountain of paid dirt piling up, the wash plant finally arrives, so the gold becomes ready to run. In Indian River, Dave Turner and Fred Dodge discover that their dirt has very little gold in it. After a talk with Todd, they decide to strip away ground a few feet at a time until they discover they are on the gold. Now back on, they are able to get over 30 ounces of gold, putting them closer to the 100 ounce they need to secure an investor. In Porcupine Creek, Dakota, Fred, and Dustin Hurt must remove a cabin to continue mining. Under destroying the cabin, they discover there are tailings under the cabin. Fred wants to run the tailings, but Dustin doesn't. They run them anyway, and if there is no gold, they decide not to run anymore. After the cleanup, they discover more than 10 ounces of gold, meaning they will run more of the tailings. At the Big Nugget mine, Parker Schnabel sets a goal of 50 ounces in 1 week. He also plans to rebuild the road to Smith Creek Hill. However, problems arise when a bearing on the wash plant breaks and a bucket of an excavator falls off. Despite these problems, Parker is able to get 55 ounces in just 1 week, staying true to his goal. Number 7. Love Struck.
And the dewatering pump is spewing smoke.
As the Hoffman group find pay dirt, they fire up their wash plant to find a problem. The dirty water was clogging the holes. They have their mechanic James Harness build a filter. However, Harness's girlfriend comes from Oregon, and Harness and them leave for R&R with the filter unfinished. Meanwhile, Fred Hurt returns to Minot, North Dakota to find his house destroyed by the flood, while Dustin Hurt watches the mine. Parker Schnapple calls in his dad, grandfather, and brother to build a road to virgin land to mine. Full disclosure, upon returning to Oregon, the Hoffman crew is wrestling with their future after the Alaskan winter ended the mining season. With previously unaired material, the crew reveals what went on behind the scenes and how they really felt about the most controversial incidents. In this episode, Jack reveals that he had a permit to cross the river. Todd tells everyone that he will be bringing his family up to Alaska again next year, despite his daughter's seizure. Harkness says that he had cramps for 24 hours after his legs gave out from underneath him. The full hatred of Dorsey the entire crew held is fully shown in the destruction of his cabin, and Harkness reveals that the pain he was in was what caused him to snap on Fred. Fred reveals that he has brought out the Porcupine Creek claim for himself, and the Holzmans go to the Yukon to find a new claim. Number 5. The ultimatum. Todd has been given a goal of 100 ounces fast by a man financing their operation. Todd and his crew begin to set up water for their wash plant that should arrive in 10 days. Meanwhile, Dave and his crew begin to run dirt when a fan on their wash plant breaks. Dave and Fred Dodge fix the issue, and after running dirt, get less than 1 ounce of gold. Fred and Dustin begin to scoop dirt when their excavator track wheel breaks. Fred makes his own replacement and are able to begin to run gold and get 1.5 ounces by the end of the day, covering the day's cost and giving a profit. Parker Schnabel continues to work on a replacement bridge for Porcupine Creek and deals with a fight between a worker. Number 4. $1 Million Season. Todd has now bought another claim. Todd, Jack, and Jim Thurber continue at the Quartz Creek claim, while Dave Turn leads Greg and Chris at a new Indian Creek claim, a chunk of virgin land. On top of that, they have 5 new crew members, including 2 of Todd's nephews, and all new equipment, including better dozers, excavators, and a brand new wash plant. However, with the wash plant has not yet arrived, so Thurber fires up Little Blue, the wash plant from last year. By the end of the week, they are able to find some gold, keeping with the promise Todd made. Upon arriving to Porcupine Creek, Dakota, Fred, discovers he is still snowed in and his excavator is frozen and unable to start. He calls on Parker Schnabel to help move snow and uses a generator to thaw the excavator. Parker plans to continue on with Smith Creek Hill, but must first fix the wash plant. Mostly an all-new crew, he fixes the plant to run more water and fixes some electrical issues and begins his new season. Number 3. Never Say Die. With an Arctic winter looming, the crew races against the clock. Rain and thawing snow flood the mine, and Jack puts his life on the line as the glory hole caves in around the massive 100,000-pound excavator. Number 2. The Wrong Claim. Todd and Dave head to the new Indian Creek claim to check the gold content. However, they discover the claim already has the ground tested. After contacting the claim owner, they test the soil to find it is not deep and full of gold. When the owner arrives, he discovers they were not on the part of the claim and were on someone else's. They all find their actual claim, and when they test the solid and find it is deep with mud, and they discovered they would not hit pay dirt until the next year, leaving Dave and Todd to figure out what to do. Dakota, Fred, and Dustin Hurt are contacted by a geologist by helicopter and are shown that all of the snow would flood Porcupine Creek, potentially flooding the entire claim. They decide to dig far away next to exposed bedrock so they do not risk their lives until the snow melts. Parker Schnabel discovers his path to Smith Creek Hill is mud and too dangerous to go up. He then makes a deal with Earl Foster to get a claim neighboring the Big Nugget mine at 10% gold output to save his season. Number 1. Secret Weapons. After finding out that their new claim has too much mud to mine, Dodd and Dave talk to claim owner Greg McNeil to get part of the claim with good gold they originally mined. After a little discussion, he agrees to let them mine the lower portion of the claim where they discovered the gold. The deal made, Dave and his crew begin to mine. However, Todd believes his wash plant is losing gold and destroys it and leaves it by the road. However, he discovers his new wash plant is still weeks away from being ready. In Porcupine Creek, Dakota, Fred, and Dustin Hurt begin to mine with 2 new miners, a man and a woman. However, Fred discovers that the male miner is taking medication and operating heavy machinery, so Fred asked him to leave. After an argument with a member, Parker sets a goal of $40,000 for the week. At the end of the week, he gets 25 ounces of gold, which is at his goal of $40,000, more than half of all of his gold last year. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.